Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm comparing the LEGO tumblers that I own. Not all of these are official sets though. So back here we've got the 2021 version of the tumbler, which is our very first minifigure scale proper Batman one since 2008. In the middle is my custom one that I built last year, and then all the way on the end is the real last minifigure scale tumbler that LEGO made. This came out in 2013 for The Dark Knight Rises, and this is Bane's tumbler, and right off the bat you can tell that this one is kind of the worst. So the size difference here is pretty dramatic. LEGO's version is the biggest by far, which is kind of surprising after they made such a small one the last time, but a lot of people didn't like that small one. So first let's take a look by just comparing the official LEGO versions before we take my mock. Now this one is probably truly minifigure scale because, LEGO vehicles are always super oversized, but because LEGO vehicles are always oversized, this one looks so strange and small. And the other thing is that this one does a really bad job of being a tumbler. I really just don't know what other way to put it, because it doesn't have a lot of detail. I hate that the guns on the side are just stickered. I just think that that's a really lame choice. It doesn't even have the dual wheels at the back that the tumbler is really iconic for. And I just don't really like the color scheme here. Yeah, you've got the camouflage, which is accurate to The Dark Knight Rises for Bane's tumblers. But you've got way too much light gray. I don't like the blue showing through there. There's a lot of brown and trans orange mixed with black as well. So yeah, I'm just not really pleased with that. And I especially don't like the back because this looks like the plainest area of the set by far. Features wise, the new tumbler has a couple of stud shooters up front. You guys know how those work, and these are a little bit tough to reload because they're sticking out over a beam, which makes them flush with the body, but it also just makes it a little bit harder to put them back in. Meanwhile, Bane's tumbler actually has a pretty cool feature. You can flip up these flags, forgot how to do this, it's been a little while, and then you can bring up these flick fire missiles, and flick fire missiles used to be a huge thing back during this time, and we don't see them as much anymore, so it's kind of nostalgic to me to see those on this set. As for the interiors, of course the new one is going to win out every single time. I did a full review on it, by the way, you guys can check that out. But inside you have a two-seater cockpit, and yes, I have put Scarecrow in there, and there's so much room in there. They can sit comfortably, they aren't cramped, you've got a clip for a batarang, and then there's even so much space around the sides. I've got both of their guns on one side and then the extra Bruce Wayne head on the other, because I've got the demonic Batman face attached right now. So that's really roomy. And then for the 2013 version, Bane has to lean so far back that he can't even see out of the windshield. That's really dumb to me. And yeah, I don't love this build. It doesn't need to be a two-seater. The vehicle is a two-seater in universe, but I wouldn't really ever expect that from LEGO. So I'm not bothered by that. I'm just bothered by the fact that it's so tiny and under-detailed when we hadn't gotten a tumbler for 5 years. As for my custom one, I'm pretty happy with this. Again, I made a separate video on this as well, and I based this off of Brent Waller's MOC, which apparently has now been taken down from the internet. Someone commented on my old video saying that they couldn't find instructions for it anymore, so I'm really glad I made it last year. And I did make some modifications to his, especially up front by the windshield. I don't remember everything I did at this point, but I'm pretty happy with how mine came out. It's definitely much rougher around the edges. I like the front of the LEGO version so much better, with the windshield, with the angling, but I quite like my armoring back here. I feel like I did a pretty good job, actually, of building up an armored tumbler. Mine is, of course, a lot more fragile than LEGO's. I think it's got a couple illegal techniques, but I feel like a lot of MOCs do. So first off, right off the bat, I don't like the front as much because mine just feels too thin. LEGO's, mine's too thin and long. LEGO's has that kind of beefy look, and that's the other thing. Mine really slims out towards the front, but LEGO's stays chunky the whole way through. I think my cockpit, the windshield, looks pretty good. These pieces aren't the best just because they're kind of cloudy with age because they're so old. And LEGO's, of course, looks better. But then LEGO's really improves around the side because I didn't even try to get, the side windshields. I just have, a little window suggestion back there. But LEGO got full windshields, and then they put these pieces on to make it look like the angled bracing of the tumbler. So I think that's really successful. As for the side detailing, I feel like we both did a pretty decent job. I've got a couple flags, like 3 flags here, and then like wedges and tiles and bars, and Lego's also got some flaps. And so I think like that stuff's pretty even. Towards the back, Lego definitely wins out again though, because I do have double wheel assemblies, but as you can see, they're kind of rickety. I think this is also something I changed from the MOC. And they're also kind of small, but this is like the best I could do in such a confined space. The Lego designers got like real big, like thick tires on the back of this tumbler, and everything looks really good. I do like my engine back here better though, because I just think that this looks better with like the whole kind of like intake area, and Lego's does look a little bit flat, but I mean, that's just a limitation of the size of the thing. The other thing I think I did better is, while I don't like the light gray color on the front wheels, I didn't have any other option, and I think I did a much better job of having a consistent color scheme throughout. I really don't like on the Lego version how you've got all of these dark gray pieces, especially up front. Like, there's no reason for those not to be black. Then you have all this light gray back here, and again, I don't know how accurate this is to the actual tumbler because I haven't looked at like images in a little while, but I just feel like it's too bright back here. I would really prefer if those were dark gray at the very least, because it just looks strange when the entire vehicle is like so black. Like, the dark gray down here doesn't bother me at all. Here, I think it's fine as well. It might look better in black, but I don't mind it there. But like, it's just too much in certain areas. So on mine, I'm glad that the only like colors that I have showing that I don't love are the light gray wheel arches and then some blue back there. As for the interior, for mine, you kind of have to pull up on this piece back here and just work the roof off, and it is held in place a little bit by these flaps on the side. The Lego version, of course, opens much easier, and we already saw that interior. I don't have a Batman in here, but I quite like the interior on this tumbler. I don't think I modified this much at all from Brent Waller's version, but it's got a really nice, like, I think dark gray seating space. Like, that really helps differentiate it from the rest of the car. And then you've got a steering wheel and a couple of joysticks back there. Batman can't see out of the windshield when he's sitting down, but that doesn't really bother me in a vehicle of this size because it accommodates him quite comfortably, although of course the Lego version is better. All right, well, that about does it for my tumbler comparison video. I hope you guys liked this. After seeing mine next to an official Lego version that's in a slightly larger scale, I definitely prefer the official set, but I do want to make modifications to it. I just don't like the colors that show through everywhere. I think I might as well just remove the stud shooters up front. I don't mind them. I'm not like a stud shooter hater, but I mean, I think I'll just take them off because it is annoying to reload them when they fall off. But other than that, I think that the like armor plating on the Lego version is really good. Only thing I might modify is the roof up here, like maybe smooth it over a little bit more. But I mean, I'm really happy with my tumbler, given that I made it last year when I didn't think that we'd be getting a minifigure scale one this year. So let me know what you guys think of mine in comparison to the 2021 version, and what you think of Bane's in comparison to the 2021 version, because that is like hilarious to me. This is kind of like an example of the worst minifigure scale tumbler Lego could make to me, and this is an example of the best. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.